In the chilling stillness of the Atlantic Ocean, beneath waves that seemed to swallow light and sound, a silent hunter moved undetected. It was October 15, 2024, the day the balance of naval power briefly tilted in a way that stunned the world's most advanced military. Somewhere southeast of Norfolk, Virginia, a Russian Yasen-class nuclear submarine, cloaked in layers of advanced acoustic stealth technology, began an unprecedented incursion into one of the most tightly monitored maritime defense zones on Earth. For 72 hours, it remained invisible to American sensors, gliding through waters patrolled by sonar nets, maritime patrol aircraft, and the vigilant eyes of satellite reconnaissance. This was not a strike mission, nor an act of war, but a demonstration, a precise and calculated test of modern naval supremacy. As it slipped past layers of defenses that had taken decades and trillions of dollars to perfect, the world was reminded that beneath the ocean's calm surface lies a battlefield of silence, a place where detection means death, and invisibility is the ultimate weapon. The submarine's crew operated under a cloak of discipline and tension, knowing that a single error, a single burst of noise, could expose their position and trigger a cascade of geopolitical consequences. But for 3 days, the ocean belonged to them, an empire of cold steel, deep pressure, and coded transmissions whispered across frequencies few could intercept. Every hour of their mission was recorded in logbooks with precision, speed changes, sonar reflections, thermal layers, all pieces of an invisible chess game between two military giants. The Yasen-class submarine, often referred to by NATO as the Supremacy type, was a marvel of modern Russian engineering, its hull wrapped in anechoic tiles designed to absorb sound, its reactor capable of near-silent propulsion. Inside, sailors moved like ghosts through narrow corridors, guided by the soft glow of red battle lighting, their instruments constantly scanning, listening, and interpreting the subtle hums of an ocean alive with activity. Above them, the skies were filled with American P-8 Poseidon aircraft, the hunters of the modern age, but their sonobuoys dropped into the sea returned nothing. The Russian sub had vanished beneath the thermal layers, deep where temperature gradients twisted sonar waves into confusion. It was a masterclass in stealth warfare, a performance that no satellite could capture, no radar could reveal. In those 72 hours, the U.S. Navy's perception of undersea dominance trembled, not because of an attack, but because of an absence, the failure to see what should have been seen. And in that silence, a new chapter in naval strategy began, one where invisibility was not merely a tactic, but a statement of technological superiority and psychological warfare. As the Russian submarine continued its silent glide beneath the Atlantic, analysts in Washington and Norfolk scrambled to piece together what had happened. War rooms, normally calm and procedural, erupted into controlled chaos as sonar operators and intelligence officers tried to trace a phantom that had already vanished from all known detection grids. The incident sparked urgent meetings at the Pentagon, where military planners debated the implications of a vessel capable of slipping past layers of sonar buoys, anti-submarine warfare ships, and long-range detection satellites. Inside the submarine, tension mingled with a grim sense of pride. Every decision mattered, the choice to adjust depth by a single meter, to alter speed by a fraction, to mute machinery just enough to avoid the faintest acoustic signature. Communications were minimal, encrypted, and coded in bursts designed to avoid interception, as the crew relied on both intuition and cold, precise mathematics. Meanwhile, naval exercises that had been scheduled for weeks in the area continued obliviously, their ships maneuvering through waters that were no longer entirely theirs. Each sonar ping that returned silence only reinforced the haunting reality: a machine, crafted by human ingenuity and patience, had rewritten the rules of engagement, reminding the world that beneath the waves, dominance is never guaranteed, and even the most sophisticated defenses can be rendered blind by a ghost in the deep. As the Yasen-class submarine finally broke the surface after 72 hours of ghost-like navigation through one of the most fortified maritime defense zones on Earth, the implications of its passage began to crystallize not just in the immediate corridors of Naval Command, but across the broader landscape of international security, geopolitics, and military strategy. The world's most advanced naval powers had long operated under the assumption that no submarine, regardless of its technological sophistication, could evade detection for more than a matter of hours, particularly in areas where sonar arrays, satellite reconnaissance, and aerial patrols formed a layered net of surveillance and response. Yet the events of those 3 days challenged every core assumption about underwater warfare, forcing military strategists, policymakers, and intelligence agencies to confront uncomfortable truths. The oceans, with all their vastness, currents, thermal layers, and acoustic anomalies, remain domains of uncertainty, where human ingenuity and technological mastery could tilt the scales unpredictably. For the United States Navy, the psychological impact was immediate and profound. Senior officers convened in secure briefing rooms where maps, charts, and digital overlays documented every known sensor position, yet even the most sophisticated anti-submarine warfare models could not retroactively account for the absence of contact. In essence, the failure to detect the sub was not a momentary lapse but a glaring revelation that the carefully constructed edifice of perceived undersea dominance could be penetrated by a vessel designed for stealth, discipline, and near invisibility. Analysts, both military and civilian, began to publish assessments, quietly at first, then in more open forums, noting that the balance of power beneath the waves might no longer favor those with the largest fleets or the most satellites, but those who mastered the art of acoustic invisibility, silent propulsion, and the subtle manipulation of oceanographic variables. Meanwhile, in Moscow, the mission's success was dissected in classified meetings where engineers, tactical planners, and submarine commanders reviewed every maneuver, every depth change, every acoustic shadow exploited along the path. The pride in the achievement was tempered by an acute awareness that such demonstrations were double-edged. They provoked unease and a re-evaluation among rival powers, potentially sparking an escalation of undersea technology development, new detection methods, and counter-stealth systems. Yet from the Russian perspective, the 72-hour incursion was more than a technological victory. It was a statement, a subtle but unmistakable assertion that in the theater of the oceans, invisibility was not merely a tactic but a strategic language. Every sonar pulse that failed to return, every satellite image that revealed nothing but empty water, became a message broadcast without words.